But as always, we're going to go around the horn here and talk about what we've been watching this past week. So I'll kick it over to you, Brian, first. What have you been watching this last calendar week, sir?
It's been a doozy. Again, it's not a TV pod, as Micah said, so I'm not going to chime in about The Last of Us Episode 2, because I won't. But in a weird gray area, I'm going to give Andor to you, Ricky. I'm going to let you take that one. But wow, what a start it's been. So mine, I watched, this was the other night, I was just laying in bed, and it was on Amazon Prime, and I was like, I love it. I watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Arguably I would say number 3, and a strong number 3 in the Shrek franchise. Obviously, Shrek 1 and 2 take the cake. You might like Puss in Boots 1 more, like some like it better than others. Puss in Boots 2, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It is not only gorgeously animated, it has one of the coldest villains ever put to Disney history. I'm watching the movie again, and I'm like, Death, the wolf, is barely in it, and he's so good. And everything about the movie, it's funny, it's got memorable characters, it's got a nice message to it, and they always try to push that. Like, I think it's just all in all, pound for pound, fantastic kids movie. It was one of those ones that kind of got like shoved to streaming a few years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it never got its day in the sun. I think though people who've seen it seem to be on the same consensus that how good it is. But I was like, that's always a good rewatch for me. I can't put it above Shrek 1 and 2 off the principle, but it is right up there, like in terms of great animated movies, and in Shrek franchise, it's right up there too. So yeah, that was a good watch. Micah, I'll go over to you.
I watched, I'm continuing my Mission Impossible rewatch. I watched Mission Impossible 3. I think this is like, and you can, all these first 3, such a heavy stamp by each individual director. Lynn Spare, even throughout the title card, I didn't know how he managed to do that. But just, solid movie. I like it. It's probably like the weakest of the 3 in my opinion.
Do you think so?
And then, I think
over
so.
Ninja Tom Cruise?
It was like a pivoting, they took one step with the first one, took a step in the other direction with the third one, kind of got their footing, and the next one, that's when they start to run. This is like the introduction of Benji. They managed to balance out the capabilities of Tom Cruise athletically with wanting to make the Ethan Hunt character seem smart. So it's a good balance. Big wife guy, Ethan, in this movie, all about his wife. We last saw in White Lotus, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And then I watched Insomnia, the early Nolan.
I saw you watch that.
Wow.
Micah, I haven't seen that one in a long time. I remember enjoying it, but I put it low on my Nolan ranking just because it's not one you watch too frequently. But
yeah, I think it might be my favorite Nolan movie. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
It's he gets to make a movie without like a big concept or spectacle, even though that's like what he's good at. And I don't think those movies are bad, but it was interesting to see like a more stripped down. This is a remake of like a Danish film or something like that.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think maybe the story was a little bit different from what he would usually do, but I liked it a lot. Good Marty performance. Movies used to have Hillary.
Is it Hillary Swank?
Hillary Swank. Movies used to have Hillary Swank in them.
Remember that time?
Micah, before you, I know Eric's going to take up, but it's funny you're saying about Mission Impossible. You now got, obviously there's still one more movie before McQuarrie takes over, but it is kind of funny that there are 2 distinct eras of MI. Like, I feel like Ghost Protocol kicked off the like MI that we know going forward. Obviously it's different flair because it's Brad Bird, but like, you know what I mean? Ghost Protocol was the first one where it wasn't that trilogy Tom Cruise was. It was like must-see in theaters television. Is when I remember. I don't know if you guys remember the same way. I remember Ghost Protocol being like that one. Yeah. That people told you to start going. So it's kind of funny. You got through the era where they were still kind of figuring out what is this franchise going to look like.
They start to run a little bit in the next one. That's what I'm looking for.
And I got a question for you, Micah. Now that you're doing your rewatch, but you're a big Mission Impossible fan. I feel like the Mission Impossible series isn't relatively known for its villains, and so Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, I feel like, is one of the more recognizable villains from the franchise.
He's in 3 or 2?
He's in 3.
He's in 3.
Yeah.
He's in 3.
I mean, where would you rank him with the other like villains? I mean, maybe this is a question to ask you once you're done rewatching them, but off the top, like, what did you think of his performance? At least maybe compared to the first 2 in that trilogy.
I like it. I mean, he's able to bring, they give him time to work in a way the other villains don't really get until later. when I think 2 of the last 3 have the same villain.
Right?
Which
Yeah. Yes.
I
Sorry,
grew
you guys.
weary of
I haven't
him.
seen the newest one yet.
I think actually he shows up in the next one because that's why his wife has to go away. So I think it's 3 of the last 4 movies have the same villain. So I mean, he kind of, I've never loved him as a villain. I think, yeah, like in terms of like capabilities, it's got to be.
He's an
Philip.
actor. I feel
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like you got to give.
Yeah.
But no, I'd have to, Mike. I'm excited. You might like obviously you already started your rewatch. As
Yeah,
excited I am for my rewatch of getting to see all the great Mission Impossibles, I'm kind of more excited to watch the OG trilogy again because
They're fun.
those are the 3 I've seen. I saw once, like ages ago, and never came back. The other ones kind of have always been worked into my, you know what I mean? I see them, so I'm excited to get a revisit on that. I'm sorry, Ricky, I kind of pivoted there. So
No, I had a good question. I wanted to know what your thoughts about it because I definitely, out of like the acting chops of the villains in the following movies, I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman's just kind of leagues above those guys. And even in this most recent one, like the main villain, I guess there's an antagonist similar to Ethan, but it's just AI, so which is pretty funny.
You mean the entity?
The entity.
Say their name.
Yeah, say it. It takes away its power. But yeah, Brian, I also just commenting on, I didn't get your chip in on Puss in Boots, but I know at least for our movie of the week, that was Ryan Coogler said that was some inspiration. Was the movie you just talked about? So
that's why I clicked on it a little bit, and you can see what he's talking about.
Yeah,
a little bit. It's very subtle. It's not like a huge
It's something
part.
like super minor, right?
No, it's just the eyes. It's just the eyes from the. It's cool though. It was cool though because they really lean into that visual, which I think he never mentions this. I think he got inspiration from Midnight Mass. They did that a lot with the reflective eyes, but we can get into that later. Eric, the floor is yours, my man.
No. Somebody said this is a movie podcast. This is most definitely a TV podcast when I come and talk about my weekly roundup because I don't do a good job of watching a ton of movies during the week outside of our designated homework.
Right, just speak your truth.
But happy Andor week to all those who celebrate.
Happy Andor week.
I watched 2 of the first 3 episodes, and I mean,
so
Tony. It's just like you jump right back into the world. It just says 1 year later. They don't do any pandering to the audience. Like you're back. You got to remember like Bix, Bibble, all these character names. Shout out Star Wars. You gotta remember that.
Not even making it up.
No, you gotta remember these names. You gotta remember all these relationships. And I didn't finish my rewatch of Andor, so I'm like, what foundation are they talking about? Like what? I'm kind of like spacing. So I'm gonna before next week. I'm gonna try and catch up. But I'm enjoying it. Like you can tell, Diego Luna's having a ton of fun. Tony Gilroy is just it's a real story in the context of Star Wars, and he's back. I'm so excited to finish this last episode tonight.
It is fantastic. I binged all 3 today.
Yeah,
crazy good. And I wasn't like it's one of those things that like I blinked and the 2.5, 3 hours was over. It's great. The one thing I did, like you just said about remembering characters that I was like, okay, I might need to go back and touch up on some stuff was the Mon Moth. There's 3 different segments, as you know, the Mon Mothma segments. I was like, who's funding what? I can't I couldn't remember. Like I'm like, they have a whole thing where like he's talking to the wrong people, and I'm like, I don't know. Hang on, who's
I don't remember.
Glove Shido?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's great.
I'm
and
really
Micah, you gotta get on that, man.
I watched episode 1, but again, like, I don't know. I watched episode 1. I like it. It just makes me a little bit sad.
Why is that?
Because this is what they're capable of, and then you see what we get.
I feel you. Yeah. I feel you. It makes you watch this. You're like, why the fuck am I watching like
Skeleton Crew?
Sean Levy ripping on a scale that's.
I'm not gonna put Skeleton Crew on the shitting floor because at least that one they put. It's for children. They put some real elbow grease into that one. You can tell, like they did, like the animatronics. Talking about the fact that like, how many times do we ever see de-age Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah.
Again, he's doing it again. We got Sean Levy and Ryan Gosling teaming up for a movie. Meanwhile, Tony Gilroy basically saying, this is the most important piece of work I've ever done in my life, and they put this shit out. And you're like, so they're capable of it.
Yeah.
He's doing context things about, like, he's doing arcs about, like, how do we basically, like, destabilize a sovereign nation?
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Without causing a ruckus. And on the other hand, you have, like, is that C-3PO?
I will say also having Krennic back is so much fun.
Oh, you love Krennic.
I forget the actor's name. It's escaping me right now. But
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, Mendelsohn. You want to build a Death Star, don't you? But his whole line delivery is just, I love it. That first episode,
it's great.
When he's like the Gormans and he's going on about spiders, I was like, what are we doing? Like the whole commercial, I was like, this is hilarious. But yeah, commentary great. On destabilizing, like, and the repercussions of people talking about it over like lunch is just so. I love it. I love having his character back. But yeah, anything else on that? Like, I'm sure by next week I'm gonna be talking about Andor pretty much every week until it's done.
It's gonna be rough. But for the sake of time, Eric, why don't you segue us right into something off our list?
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at our list right now, and I'm realizing that I am a bad Dan Trachtenberg fan. If you're telling me the Badlands trilogy came out already, I missed that.
We can hop right into that because that was today.
It came out.
The Predator Badlands trailer dropped today.
I didn't see that.
It is heinously early because the movie doesn't come out till
November.
But
yeah,
I'll take what I can get, I guess.
Does it look good? Like you guys have seen it. I'm gonna watch it right after this.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I don't need to see anything. I'm excited. I mean, we've gotten more footage for this than we have like the Alien Earth series coming out this summer, which is hilarious to me. But the only thing I'll say about this, other than go watch it, it looks sick. Ellie Fanning is a character in it, and she has a moment in the trailer where eyes gloss over, very similar to the to Alien Romulus, to our guy, the symbiote guy. And if you zoom in on it, you see the Weyland Yutani logo. So it seemingly confirms they are connected to the Alien franchise in this movie, at least. And then there's also another shot of a wall of heads, and one of them being like the alien head. Another one is the head from Independence Day, which is super odd. And I guess it makes sense.
Interesting.
Because
I'll have to check it.
Because Predator is now owned by Disney, has the rights, and Independence Day is a property that belongs to Disney. So
yeah, when they bought Fox.
That's very interesting, though. I'm gonna have to check out the trailer, but I didn't know they were going that far. I do trust Dan Trachtenberg though, and nobody even released a trailer. I think for his Prey movie, they gave it zero respect. So it's nice to see this hype. I'll have to check it out. But actually, I think there's a good segue into this though. Like you said, I don't like when trailers reveal too much. Like Sinners, we talked about that before that happened. This movie did that. If they keep just doing what they did for that first new trailer, Weapons, and don't give me too many clues about what's going on, I'll be so much cooler in the payoff. I don't know if one of you wants to talk about what the trailer actually showed, but I thought it was fantastic. It's only a minute-long teaser. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it. Go. I mean, unless you have anything to say, Micah.
No, you got it. Well, I was going to say there is another one coming, so maybe avoid that.
Yeah.
One of those things they showed at CinemaCon, but...
Okay.
It's good to know. There's surely going to be something, but I mean...
No, there's going to be more. I knew I was being wishful thinking, but I just I love a good I do love a good teaser where they don't, and I'm sure there's going to be a trailer where they show with the cast that's in it because they paid them to be in the
right.
And they want to use that as marketing. But I just enjoy when a movie when he's just basically being that cop, I assume he's a cop, is basically saying these kids nobody took these kids. They walked out.
Right. I think that's Brolin. Is it not?
Yeah, that's Josh.
Is that Brolin?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Brolin. Okay. No, I just like that being I like having questions going into it. And I know in the trailer they're probably going to show more, but even still, I really hope they keep more cards to their chest than they have to.
Well, his last movie, Barbarian, kept a lot of things close. Mm-hmm. Even after release, you really had to...
I didn't know Justin Long was in that movie till I saw it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. They cool. Definitely
that was cool.
Didn't they promote it or market it with Skarsgård more? So
yeah, they basically a whole different.
Well, they made it seem like the classic
the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And then
right. It's just a pretty good concept on its own of a movie. There's a mix up at the Airbnb and you're both staying there, and if I'm jealous that I had I knew about the secret room when I went in, I wish I had gone in that movie and known nothing.
When Mike and I went into it, I
saw
don't think
Sinners-
we knew shit. That
Yeah,
was
you
crazy.
didn't know anything? That's exciting. That's cool.
That's like an old, that's been there. I mean, the earliest I can think of is like the OG Scream with Drew Barrymore. No one saw that coming.
Did they? Yeah, because they marketed it like a
With
slasher
Drew
movie, didn't
Barrymore,
they?
huge star,
And she's
then
dead in the first.
that's the first scene. That's the opening act.
That's
and
cool.
now
No,
like-
that's awesome.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
You like when you see that good kind of marketing, like even what they did with Paranormal. Like, I know you could never do it now because of the internet, but they convinced people that not Paranormal Activity. I'm sorry. Blair Witch Project was
Yeah.
like
was
that.
real.
They found a camera. They found a camera in the woods about kids going missing, and now you think it's kind of silly, but like at the time, how would you know otherwise?
Well, yeah, like the first ever movie when the train came, people got scared. You just gotta keep inventing new ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I mean, it's just you gotta think new things to like surprise people, and it's just like that's why I hate set leaks. But I think with these smaller horror films, you don't have to deal with like if you're making a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, there's really very little you can keep secret because
yeah,
because like set leaks and stuff. But like with these movies, like you can kind of play with the fact that like people aren't really looking at your sets while you're filming. People aren't paying attention too much until it's already done. So
no
you can
one's
get
gonna
away with
leak
it.
the weapons Funko Pop.
Yeah.
No, there's no hot toys coming out.
That's good.
The weapons Funko Pop.
That's good. But in terms of weapons, I'm really enjoying what they're doing with the marketing. All the teaser really was all those clips that they were putting out on their social media, cut together with the Josh Brolin narrating that I'd imagine he's a cop or whoever he is. That's like nobody forced, like you said, Brian. Nobody forced these kids to go outside, go missing. They have walked out of those houses on their own, and they're very spooky. Like this whole like T-pose run.
Maybe they're just band kids.
We can wrap up. Yeah, we can wrap up with this because I know we don't want to dwell too long on this, but I'm sure there's a movie out there that maybe has a similar-esque concept. But I'm saying it's an interesting idea to think about because, like, how do you investigate that? Or like, what do you people turning to you for answers? Like, why did my kid run away? I don't know. 18 of them ran away. Sorry, go ahead, Micah.
No, I was gonna say like, Kreger himself compared this movie to Magnolia, which seems very ambitious. Very ambitious. Second movie out. Yeah, I'm kind of like
Magnolia. Why do I know? Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
that's PTA.
That's PTA?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do I know that? Okay, well,
let's see him go.
The
Let's see
guy
him
who made
cook,
the whitest
man.
kid, the guy who made the whitest kids you know, is now trying to become the next Hitchcock over here.
Hey, second movie out, calling your being like, it'd be like the Talk to Me people being like, actually this next one's kind of like Pulp Fiction but horror.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I mean that one looks. That one looks crazy, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
later.
that I don't even remember what that's called. It's like Bring Her Back or something.
Bring her back.
Yeah,
Bring her back.
it looks.
Don't bring her
It
back.
looks
It
way
sounds
more
like-
like. I don't know that one.
like Bring Her Back.
I don't know how I feel about that one yet because
It's
it
like
looks.
Talk to Me. I love Talk to Me.
I love.
So
I thought
into
Talk
this
to Me
one.
was super unique. This one looks very much so like it's another exorcism or raising the devil
but they
type
have a very-
shit.
They have a very nice. I don't pretend to know that they're the way they direct, the way they shoot things.
Yeah.
I think it looked like it. It looks like it's gonna be visceral. It's great. And speaking of like interesting directing styles, the next thing on our thing, that Him trailer, I was like, yeah, sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this movie's gonna really. I can't even get the full gauge of what is going on, but I like it.
Those like concussion shots, the X-ray. I was like, what am I watching
that
right
was
now?
crazy.
does
Marlon
seem-
Wayans
yeah.
is a talented actor too. Like people forget because he's such a goof and he's a funny guy. But like I've seen him do dramatic, and he's very, very good. So I'm excited to see him in this.
Yeah, it did. I was just thinking when I saw the trailer in front of Sinners, I was like, damn, like all those like humiliation ritual, like Hollywood's trying to. They're just gonna be like, and this is real. It's the Wayans trying to tell us it's real, and I get to see like the lowest brain cells among us like buying in heavily, but
Yeah,
it does look entertaining. Why not make some money off of that? It looks like a cool concept. Like, how much would you sacrifice? Tom Brady's answer is his family.
I
So,
think Micah. I feel like in this podcast we like it too. Like I don't even know if the movie's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But I do like when I see a movie where I'm like, you have a young director who has a vision. Like he has something. He's not been tied on to the new, Thor movie that he needs to just follow the scripts. Like he is obviously trying to put his stamp on this movie. I don't know how good it's going to be. It could be. It could be. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, but like I appreciate the effort, anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
When is that? When is that movie coming out? To him.
I don't know. Sorry, Micah, you were saying you
Have you guys seen any
the
other
release date?
sports horror movies?
I don't think
I was struggling
so.
to think. I feel like there should be, but I'm struggling.
Sports horror
feel like-
movies.
I think the dynamic they're talking about with like your idol, like someone you look up to, is taking advantage, like brings someone younger. That movie's existed before.
Yeah.
I
But about
I can't think of the top of my not
like,
sports.
this is
I can't think about
this is,
sports.
like intimately wrapped into football. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean-
I want to see those concussion shots more though. That was cool.
Yeah.
I thought having a shot in a trailer like makes you go, that was kind of cool.
Hey, X-rays mid. I was into it. And
Yeah.
they had like the infrared. I was like,
Yeah.
This is
Scott, make a song for the movie.
This will be good timing for their marketing too, because this movie, I was like, how long are we going to be watching this trailer in theaters? Because I'm fine watching this trailer for a while as far as horror movies go, compared to like the one where the James McAvoy cutting off the tongue one.
Oh,
My
Speak
God.
No
Oh,
Evil.
Speak No Evil, yeah,
Oh
or even
my
The
God, that
Wolfman.
shit was so
But this comes out in
that was
September, so that's like you line that up right with the start of the NFL season. This could get a little bit of hype going around it.
It's on how much of the trailer they air the trailer. Like it's like The Amateur. I can't watch. I don't even want to see that movie now because of how often I see the trailer.
I've
Is it-
heard some terrible things.
Yeah, I bet it
okay.
fucking sucks. When I see too much marketing, I assume one of two things: either like I don't know. It just means either they're really excited about this product, or they're like, we need to help this movie needs every help it can get to make a fucking buck.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll talk about the movie later, but I really do think we're out of the woods now. I was looking at my work calendar and I was putting in movies I want to see, like, opening night, like on Thursday, and banger after banger after banger. We're here. We've made it. Sinners is like the first wave from the dam breaking.
yeah.
This
We have
movie
been in
made
the wilderness.
Yeah, and this
Right.
movie also like brought like people are going to theaters,
Yeah.
bro. I was in the Dorchester theater last night. And not just they had multiple showings all day. I was in the IMAX one at 6:30.
Well, we
Jammed.
can take that and transition to Sinners being the #1 movie in the box office.
Thank
Woo!
God.
Yeah. Well, hey, at the end of the day, Warner Brothers is up because they've got the #1
yeah,
and the
fuck.
#2 movie.
Yeah.
Shit,
And
I didn't even
Minecraft
think of
is
that.
steamboating towards $1 billion, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, someone's asked me that the other day. They're like, "Is the microphone making money?" I'm like, "Yeah, like an absurd amount of money."
People are
like,
still going to that
it's
movie.
fucking swear. Oh my God, I'm at Easter and this cousin, he's not really my, anyway, it doesn't matter. He's a guy, a family adjacent person I don't see very often.
Adult?
And he goes, 20, 19, 20? Is he in college? He's
Grown-ass
at
man.
Northeastern.
Grown-ass man.
And he goes, "Did you see the Minecraft movie?" And him, his girlfriend's there. And they might be like, "It's fun. We had a good time in theaters." I'd have been like, "Hey, man, power to you." But he goes, "It was actually really good, man."
No.
I'm like, "Shut." And then he shows me his phone. He goes, "Look at this chicken jockey." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I didn't have the energy to argue with him. I'm like, "Oh, man, that's cool. Good for you." I know a lost cause
Chicken
when I see it.
jockey. We're still laughing about it. It's so dumb.
I mean,
Chicken jockey.
it's like, it was him just like saying what was on screen, and people were, for an entire movie, it seems like, hey, hell yeah, more power to you, I guess.
I'm just glad.
But
The Sinners thing was more like, I'm just glad that like seeing like a movie like this brings people to theaters. More like people actually understanding you need to see this movie on the big screen. If you wait till it comes on streaming, you've missed out. You don't see it. Like I thought I was late seeing this movie, and I saw it on what is it? I saw it less than a week before it came out. After it came out,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool. And you know what it reminded me of? Because I'm always a proponent of going to see a movie in theaters or seeing it. I've always been on that. But it had been a while since I'd seen an IMAX formatted movie, like a movie meant to be seen in IMAX. And it reminded me, like, oh yeah, no, this is even compared to movie theaters versus this. Because I'll go to like I told you about the one I saw,
Yeah.
Warfare. I saw Warfare in a very small local theater, much better than your home TV.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, like this movie on IMAX, Holy
Coughing
shit.
baby versus nuclear bomb.
Exactly. Like, not even close.